Good morning everyone. Am I audible properly? मेरी आवाज आ रही है आप सभी को अच्छे से?
Yes, ma'am.
यस मैम।
अच्छा, तो आज हम शुरू करते हैं ERD. Now, what is ERD? ERD stands for Entity Relationship Diagram, and we will be reviewing the topic which we have done. Since last 1 week or so, we are working on DFDs. I think now data flow diagrams are quite clear to you. So in the process, what I feel is that my student should be equipped well with all the knowledge of the subject. So today I will be teaching you about ER diagrams, and I think you all have done MS Access. So you have, I think, a very good knowledge of MS Access also. And plus you have seen how the ER diagrams been prepared. So some idea you have, and rest I will be giving you some of the ideas. Please, my request to all of you is that please keep your pen and paper ready. Always note down what has been taught in the class. Another thing is I always share some of the diagrams with you. I request you that please take a screenshot, and I think it is not possible that in screenshot you view later on or you practice later on. I request I hold the screen for a moment and quickly you draw maybe a rough diagram, but later on, so that you'll be in the practice of doing that, right? So you can do that. Okay, so let us begin our today's topic, which is which is ER diagram. Just a minute. Okay, so I'm sharing my PPT with you. Just please बताइएगा आपको ठीक से दिखाई दे रहा है? क्या ये दिखाई दे रहा है आपको? Is it visible to you all?
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
यस
Is it
यस मैम।
visible? Is it? So today we'll be talking about entity relationship diagram. Now, when actually I talk about MS Access, so I think what all functions you have done in MS Access. Have you created a database in MS Access? Yes, Saloni? Have you done that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So, when we were learning MS Access, then you have seen, you have done queries, right? You have done forms, you have created forms, and in that you have seen the primary key. I think everybody knows here about the primary key. Yes? Hello?
यस मैम।
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Primary key or secondary?
Primary key and secondary key. Okay. Composite key. We have learned many keys that that when we were working on databases. Okay. So let us understand the data modeling for database design. Why am I doing? There is a purpose. Because you have seen the DFDs, and now when you see the ER also, it will be quite clear that what are we doing in both the different kind of, because this is always a viva question that why do you have so many diagrams? You have DFDs, you have ER, you have flowchart, right? So it may be asked to you that what is the significance of all these pictorial representations that you do in software engineering. Okay, so let us learn that. So the objective that we will be following today, or will be try to cover, is that we'll try to understand the data modeling. We'll try to understand the relationships between the entities, and we will be checking that how the database design we incorporate using such relationships. Then we'll be learning about some of the ERD components that affects the database design and implementation, and also we'll be learning about how to interpret the modeling symbols. So this is what I'll be doing today. Now, as we all know, and all the time I keep repeating that data model. What is the model? Model is the abstraction of the real world object. क्योंकि अगर आप पेपर पे बनाते हैं तो वो सच का, रियल का सिस्टम नहीं होता. वो कैसा सिस्टम होता है? इट इज the system which you draw and you understand yourself, and then you will be able to explain to the other team members. If you are a project leader, you will be able to understand the team members, that if you are a team leader, कि ये इस तरीके से हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर बनेगा, इसमें ये यूनिट्स होंगी, ये सारी चीजें हमें करनी है, ये हमारी टाइमलाइंस है जो हमें एडहेयर करनी है, और हमें अपना प्रोजेक्ट टाइमली कंप्लीट करना है। ये बात सारा सभी को समझ में आ रही होगी मुझे लगता है, इतना हम काफी टाइम से अब इसको कर रहे हैं। तो चलिए अब देखते हैं कि डेटा मॉडल, जब हमने कहा, इसमें डेटा मॉडल क्या है? एब्स्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ रियल वर्ल्ड, useful in understanding complexity of the real world environment. And data model is the diagram that we display a set of tables and relationship between. Okay, now we have another slide which is showing you what it is showing you. It is showing you the restaurant, and restaurant, it is depicting a restaurant. Why? See, this is a diagram which you prepare in MS Access. Okay, and now in a restaurant you have different type of databases, and you can design a restaurant, and you have submitted the project also. हाँ नेहा,
स्लाइड फंसा हुआ है।
अच्छा एक मिनट, स्लाइड रुका हुआ है, इट्स नॉट गोइंग। अच्छा जस्ट अ मिनट, दोबारा से शेयर करते हैं बेटे आपसे, एक मिनट देखिएगा। क्या ये विजिबल है आपको? अभी मुझे बताइएगा। मैं दोबारा से शेयर करती हूँ आपसे, एक मिनट रुकिएगा। आई एम शेयरिंग द एंटायर स्क्रीन टू यू। आप देखें, शायद अब आपको ठीक से विजिबल हो जाएगा। हाँ जी, डेटा मॉडल विजिबल है आपको?
यस मैम।
यस मैम।
और ये पढ़ने में भी आ रहा है आपको?
यस मैम।
अच्छा ठीक है। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर सेइंग। ये जो एक्सेस का मॉडल है वो दिखाई दे रहा है आपको, ईआर डायग्राम। This you have done in MS Access,
Yes,
and you have created the relationship also. So what is entity relationship diagram? Here we have to understand it is a data modeling technique used in software engineering to produce a conceptual data model of an information system. So ERD illustrate logical structure of the database, right? And ERD development uses case tool. Okay, now if we come to the importance of data model, then we can say the first importance is that it is a blueprint for official document, or you can say you can actually have any kind of a database. It can be of employee or otherwise, and data model has the diagram, and if you talk about the database, then it is a list of tables. It is a very good communication tool. It improves interaction among the managers and the designers and the end users. Now another thing is that you are free from DBMS, and you are free from all the technicalities of it, and you are talking now on a very simple, using very simple language which is understandable, and you are using the diagrams also which are quite clear. Okay, now we say that data model revolve around discovering and analyzing organizational and user data requirement. Requirements are based on policy, meeting, procedure, system specification. So you have to identify that what data is important and what data should be maintained. That is the responsibility of the manager. Now coming to the major activities of this phase. So the major activities whenever we are going to create ER diagram, so the major activity is that we will be identifying the attributes. We will be identifying the entities. We will be then finalizing that what will be their relationships. Okay, and then we'll be constructing the model using the entity relationship diagram. Now here we have to understand that entity is connected to a table, attribute is connected to a column, this you know, and relationship again it is used by line. तो I think everything is clear. relationship आप जब भी बनाते हो, आपने MS Access में देखा, you drag and drop, you leave and you connect that this will be having this relationship. Okay, video I'll be telling you later. Entity, here I want to discuss that people, places, object, events are all entity about which we store information. Supplier, machine tool, employee, utility, airline seat, kuch bhi, that will be the entity. Okay, then whatever is tangible. Tangible is what? Customer, product is tangible. Tangible means which you can see and touch. Intangible, which you can't see and touch. So intangible, order, accounting, receivables, these are all intangible. And you have to look for singular nouns. We have discussed already that how we have to label them. So we'll be using noun, but a proper noun is not a good candidate. That also we have discussed. Now please see this. Entity instance. Entity instance is the single occurrence of an entity. Here in this case, single occurrence अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो student ID का single occurrence है, ठीक है? So agar if we say that's what is the entity instance, so entity instance would be the single occurrence of the entity. Now what is the, which one is the single occurrence? स्टूडेंट आईडी अगर आप देख लें तो वो एक सिंगल, वो रिपीटेटिव नहीं है, वो एक ही रिकॉर्ड होता है. दैट इज व्हाट द एंटिटी इंस्टेंस. Another thing is attributes. Now attributes are the data objects, or you can say they either identify or describe the entity. So you can call them as property of an entity. So in other words, what you can say, it is the descriptor whose values are associated with individual entities of the specific value. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I think this much is clear to everybody. This much is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So let me come back to the attribute. So attribute, in other words, what we call, it is a descriptor. Descriptor, how will you say that it is a descriptor? For example, if I'm writing student name is Sujit, and if I'm writing student address, so it is understood that, address will be describing the address of the student. So whenever we are choosing the attribute, we choose such attribute. It is not that we are writing student name. Student name means student's name. So Sujit is the name of the student. अब address में हम address में 1 2 3 4 5 नहीं लिख सकते. Address में we have to mention the address. So it is understood that whenever we will be checking the attributes, defining the attribute, or giving the name to the attribute, the name will be such with whom we can identify that this will be the field which will be having this kind of an value. So this is what very important. Okay. Now the process for identifying attribute is similar, except now you want to look for an exact those names that appear to be descriptive noun phrases. Just now I have discussed one example which actually quite defines it. And now how to find relationships? Relationships are always associations between entities. Typically the relationship is indicated by verb connecting two or more entities, and employees are assigned to projects. Relationship should be classified in terms of cardinality. Cardinality हम आगे भी देखेंगे. Cardinality का मतलब क्या हुआ? मतलब कि ये is it that one database or one table is connected to one table, or many tables are connected to one table. When I say connected, which means that if one table gets updated, or maybe gets changed somewhere, it will affect all 3 4 tables, or it will affect one table, or what you can say that the corresponding record will be found in the next table. इस तरह से, ठीक है. नाउ जैसे कि मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूँ कि अगर अटेंडेंस की ही मैं बात करूं, तो अगर आपकी अटेंडेंस जो है वो डेली अपडेट होती है ना, लेकिन आपका जो बेसिक पर्सनल डेटा है जो एडमिशन के टाइम था वो आपका डेली अपडेट नहीं होता. लेकिन अगर मैं इनमें रिलेशनशिप सेट करना चाहूं या कार्डिनैलिटी बताना चाहूं, तो क्या होगा, ये कार्डिनैलिटी आएगी जो आपकी मास्टर फाइल है जिसमें आपका डेटा है, वहां पे एक ही बार सुजीत का डेटा होगा। सुजीत का डेटा वहां 10 बार नहीं हो सकता, नेहा का डेटा वहां 10 बार नहीं हो सकता, वहां डेटा सिर्फ एक बार होना चाहिए। लेकिन अटेंडेंस में सुजीत का डेटा रोज होना चाहिए, यानी डेली उसकी अटेंडेंस लगनी चाहिए। तो अगर मैं इस तरह से बोलूं तो वन टू मेनी की का रिलेशनशिप या कार्डिनैलिटी यहाँ पे एस्टेब्लिश होती है। तो हम कह सकते हैं वन टू वन, वन टू मेनी, ठीक है। तो मेनी सो जैसा कि सामने आपको एग्जाम्पल में दिख रहा है, सो द कार्डिनैलिटी इज द नंबर ऑफ अकरेंसेस इन वन एंटिटी विच आर एसोसिएटेड टू द नंबर ऑफ अकरेंसेस इन अनदर, ठीक है। देर आर थ्री बेसिक कार्डिनैलिटीज, या कह सकते हैं इसको डिग्री ऑफ रिलेशनशिप भी कहते हैं। तो क्या बोलते हैं इसको, हम बोलते हैं वन टू वन तो वन कोलन वन लिखते हैं, वन टू मैनी तो वन कोलन एम लिखते हैं, मतलब मैनी, और मैनी टू मैनी लिख लेते हैं तो हम इसमें एम टू एन कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू आइडेंटिफायर्स। नाउ आइडेंटिफायर्स मीन्स identifiers are the uniquely identifiable entity instances. So all these attributes. So now if I say one example as I quoted here, PK becomes RDS. So composite identifiers are identifiers that consist of two or more attributes. Now here I say that you have the telephone number. Now in telephone number I go for two fields. One field is the you can say the code. Let's say for Jaipur, if I say 0141, so this is what the region code. So Jaipur's code is there, or you can say in mobile number 91, that is there, and the rest of the number which is the actual mobile number or actual landline number. So if you see that the telephone number is made up of two different things, and then we put them together, then it becomes one attribute, okay. So we call them composite identifiers. They are represented by underlying the name of the attribute. जैसे हमने कहा employee ID, student ID, इस तरह से. So we can actually combine it like this. Now when I say most popular, what is the most popular way of notation of what is the most popular way of writing it? So it is called crow's foot notation. जो आप सामने एक बॉक्स देख रहे हैं उसमें हम एंटिटी का नाम लिखेंगे, ठीक है। अब नोन एज IE नोटेशन, विच इज अ वेरी पॉपुलर नोटेशन। अब यहाँ देखते हैं, ये देखिए ये हमने इस तरह से इसको एट्रीब्यूट को हमने करली ब्रेसेस में लिखा हुआ है और उसके आगे लिखा हुआ है एट्रीब्यूट्स। तो अब इसमें हमने अंडरलाइन किया हुआ है स्टूडेंट आईडी को, और ये पूरा का पूरा बॉक्स क्या रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, इट इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग द एंटिटी। तो एंटिटी क्या हुई, स्टूडेंट। एट्रीब्यूट्स क्या हुए, स्टूडेंट का आईडी, स्टूडेंट का नाम, उसका पहला नाम मतलब कि फर्स्ट नेम, उसका सरनेम, डेट ऑफ बर्थ, बाकी और सारी चीजें जो आप करना चाहते हैं। तो ये सारा क्या हुआ आपका एट्रीब्यूट, मगर एंटिटी क्या थी, एंटिटी है स्टूडेंट। अच्छा, अब यहाँ देखिए हम इसको किस तरह से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। ये देखिए 1 to 1 जब हमें दिखाना होता है तो हम इस तरह से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। फर्स्ट डायग्राम आप सब लोग ड्रॉ कर ले प्लीज, ये छोटा सा डायग्राम है, बहुत जल्दी से ड्रॉ हो जाएगा। बेसिक कार्डिनैलिटी टाइप है, हम इसको इस तरह से भी रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं। देखिए ये जो टॉपिक है कार्डिनैलिटी बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है, आप थोड़ा सा इस पर ध्यान दीजिएगा, ठीक है। तो 1 to 1 रिलेशनशिप, 1 to many रिलेशनशिप, many to many रिलेशनशिप, आप इस तरह से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं। हैव यू ड्रॉन इट ऑल ऑफ यू?
यस मैम, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया मैम।
हाँ ठीक है, ओके। ये देखिए दिस इज अगेन, सो ये सिंबल्स हैं फॉर द कार्डिनैलिटी which you can take।
मैं नीचे वाला है तो घस का ये क्या मैम?
अच्छा ठीक है, इसको मैं हटा देती हूँ, एक मिनट, आई हैव टू स्टॉप एंड देन डू इट। अभी जस्ट अ मिनट, जस्ट अ मिनट, हाँ जस्ट अ मिनट। अब अब देखिए, हाँ अब विजिबल है।
यस मैम।
हाँ, अब आप इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए।
हो गया मैम।
ओके, okay. This is another example model which showcases entity, its relationship. Like just now we have discussed the department and the project. So this is one a diagram which is, मैं थोड़ा सा इसको zoom कर देती हूँ। Visible है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is one diagram which I have taken from a book, which again representing the student and professor. You know, you can say two entities. Now students, what is the role of the student? The student takes classes. Now, so what is the relationship between in this diagram which is reflected? Student has what? The ID number, student has the name, student has the subject, major subject, and the relationship between professor. So professor again is of some department. He is having a name and he teaches the classes. Now here you say one student, one to many, a relationship is being seen here, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to the next. Now take the business rule example. Now, when we talk about the business rule example, now here you say that whenever we talk about the business rule, it must be bi-directional. Bi-directional means you can say you have a draft, so you will write one sentence, but when you will finalize, then definitely there'll be two sentences. So professor advises many students. Each student is advised by the student. If I'm saying something, so it's not that I'm speaking to only Saloni, I'm speaking to only Sujit, I'm speaking to only Neha. No, I'm talking to all of you. So each student is advised by a professor. Okay. Now, professor must teach many classes, which I am doing. I'm teaching many classes. Each class must be taught by one professor. So you see that it is bi-directional. Okay. So this is what the business rule example is all about. Please keep this thing in mind. This will be, again, quite useful. Now, business rules, they are used to define entities, attribute, relationships, and constraints. And usually, though they are used for the organization that stores or uses data to be explanation of the policy, procedure, or principle. The data can be considered significant only after business rules are defined. So business rule की हम जब भी बात करें तो हमें ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जो कि डेटा स्टोर करेंगे या जो उनकी पॉलिसी होगी, तो पॉलिसी, प्रोसीजर, प्रिंसिपल, इन सब में ये बिजनेस रूल्स काम आते हैं और एंटिटी और एट्रीब्यूट डिफाइन करने में, उसके कंस्ट्रेंट डिफाइन करने में भी काम आते हैं, क्योंकि हर कंपनी का अपना एक डिफरेंट तरीका है बिजनेस रन करने का। और जहां तक मैं समझ रही हूँ, आप सब लोग भी जब जाएंगे, आप सब लोग भी जब काम करेंगे या आप अपनी खुद की फर्म ओपन करेंगे, डेफिनेटली आपको भी इन सब चीजों का पता होना चाहिए कि आप जब बिजनेस रन करें, आप जब कोई आईटी कंपनी रन करें, तो उसमें आप क्या क्या एंटिटीज होंगी आपकी और क्या क्या आप कंस्ट्रेंट्स उसमें रखना चाहेंगे। लेट इट बी अ प्रोजेक्ट जो कि आप चाहे वेबसाइट डिजाइनिंग का ही बना रहे हो, तो क्या क्या कंस्ट्रेंट उसमें रखना चाहेंगे। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैं बताती हूँ कि आपने एक वेबसाइट बनाई जिसका डेटा मैं कॉपी कर सकती हूँ, आपने एक्सेस दिया हुआ है, लेकिन एक अनदर वेबसाइट है जो बनाई गई है जिसमें से कॉपी होता ही नहीं है, जिसमें सिलेक्शन का ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, तो आपको ये डिसाइड करना है कि आप इसमें किस तरह से काम करना चाहते हैं। बहुत ही क्रूड एग्जाम्पल मैंने आपको दिया है, मगर इसमें एक एट्रीब्यूट की और भी बात आती है कि जब आप फॉर्म्स डिजाइन करेंगे या और चीजें डिजाइन करेंगे तो उसमें कंस्ट्रेंट्स लगाते हैं कि ये एक नंबर होना चाहिए, ये अपर केस होना चाहिए। पासवर्ड में भी इसी तरह से लगाते हैं कि इसमें इतने कैरेक्टर्स होने चाहिए। तो बहुत सारे कंस्ट्रेंट्स हैं जो कि आप अप्लाई करते हैं। फॉर दैट द नॉलेज ऑफ बिजनेस रूल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Number 2, it says whenever you are creating a business rule, keep them simple, easy to understand, and keep them broad so that everyone can have a similar understanding and interpretation. Now, what is the source of business rule? Direct interview with internal and external stakeholders is the source of the business rule. अब आपको ये पूछा जा सकता है कि भाई ये business rule बनाता कौन है, ये business rule define कैसे होते हैं? So these business rules are defined by direct interviews with internal and external stakeholders. Stakeholders के लिए मैंने आपको बताया था वो सभी लोग जो कि प्रोजेक्ट का पार्ट है, इंक्लूडिंग द मैनेजमेंट, दे आर द stakeholders. तो जो भी लोग इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल टीम का पार्ट है वो सभी आपके stakeholders होंगे. Now site visitation or observation of the work process or procedure, again reviewing and studying of document, policy, procedure, forms, operation, manuals, ये सभी चीज जो है इसके पार्ट है. Now if you have to discover a new business rule, then मैंने जैसे अभी आपको एक एग्जांपल दिया था, real world example on the class website. After reviewing and studying the interview and various forms, develop a draft business rule which does not need to be bidirectional or less precise wording. Keep on going until optimizing and then finalize business rule which is the bidirectional. So initially जब आप शुरू करेंगे then you will be going like this, that you have to review and you have to study the interview forms, you have to develop, you really need feedback from every people, ये ऐसे होना चाहिए, ये ऐसे होना चाहिए, और आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में हर किसी से जानकारी प्राप्त करेंगे जब तक कि आप इसे ऑप्टिमाइज नहीं कर सकते, कर लेते अपने लिए और अपनी फर्म के लिए. ओके, कमिंग टू द बिजनेस रूल एग्जांपल, ये देखिए एक बिजनेस रूल है. इसमें अगर आप ध्यान से देखें तो क्या क्या दिखाई दे रहा है. एक डिपार्टमेंट है सेल्स, आपको रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, इनवॉइस और कस्टमर दिख रहा है. सेल्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मस्ट राइट मेनी इनवॉइसेस, वो तो that's the rule. Sales representative will be doing this work. Each invoice has to be written by sales representative, ये भी है. Each sales representative must be assigned to many department. That is okay. Each department has, customer has to generate many invoices and an invoice is generated by only one customer. So as you can see that, you know, these are the rules which you can decide and this is how you can depict them. It's not about deciding, it's about how you'll be putting them on paper so that it is quite clear कि ये आप इसका business rule design करने जा रहे हैं. ये मेरी बात समझ आ रही है? This is all documentation जो कि आप software engineering में करते हैं. Okay, coming to attributes. Attributes, whenever we talk about, let's say just now we have taken the example of student, now we'll be taking the example of employee. So for employee, if we talk about, the attribute will be employee name, employee address, phone extension, date of hire, job skill code, salary, etc., etc. If we talk about the different classes of attributes, so the different classes of attributes will be simple attributes, composite attribute, derived attribute, single valued attribute, and multi-valued attributes. I hope you remember, and if not, please take a screenshot or write down somewhere. These are the different type of attributes that you must incorporate and you must know also when you're working on your projects. Coming to another one, the simple and composite attributes are, they cannot be subdivided. First of all, they are gender, they are age, gender, marital status, etc., which you put in your web form, you put in your forms that you design. Then a composite attribute, as I told you, that address. Address is what? You'll be having the street number, city name, state, zip code, this and that. So this is what this will be called as composite attribute, and telephone number also I took the example. Another one is derived attribute. Derived attribute is not physically stored within the database. And when we talk about it is derived by using an algorithm. Now, let's say, if I say that, you have to, you issue and return the books. But if you return late, then you have to pay fine. Now, how the fine will be calculated? So, in MS Access also you calculated that you calculate a fine by putting the formula. This you have done in Excel also. तो एक्सेल में आप एक फॉर्मूला लगाते हैं और कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं कि इतना फाइन होगा. ऐसे ही आप MS Access में भी करते हैं. तो जो आप इसका कैलकुलेट करके अमाउंट निकालते हैं, वो अमाउंट आपका जो आप एट्रीब्यूट में आप लेके आते हैं, दैट इज व्हाट योर डिराइव्ड एट्रीब्यूट. यानी कि लेट चार्ज या फाइन या फी, लेट फी आप कह लीजिए. तो लेट फी कैसे कैलकुलेट होगी कि आपके कितने डेज ओवर हो गए हैं, उसमें आप एक एल्गोरिथम यूज करेंगे या आप एक फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे एंड देन इट विल बी कैलकुलेटेड. MS Access में देखिए यहाँ पे एज कैसे कैलकुलेट हो रहा है. ठीक है, डेट माइनस एम्प्लॉय DOB डिवाइडेड बाय 65. तो दिस इज हाउ द डिराइव्ड एट्रीब्यूट्स आर done. They are find out, okay, or defined. Now coming to single valued attribute. Single value attribute को हम ये भी कह सकते हैं that single valued attribute can be your your house number, your location, or you can say your social security number, आपका आधार कार्ड नंबर, आपका पैन कार्ड नंबर, ये सारे आपके सिंगल वैल्यूड एट्रीब्यूट में आ सकते हैं. मल्टी वैल्यूड. नाउ इन मल्टी वैल्यूड एट्रीब्यूट यू कैन हैव मैनी वैल्यूज. मैनी वैल्यूज का मतलब क्या हुआ? अगर मैं आपका रिज्यूमे देखूं तो उस रिज्यूमे में ये होगा कि आपने क्लास 10th कहीं और से पास किया था, क्लास 12th कहीं और से पास किया था, क्लास 8th में आप किसी दूसरे स्कूल में थे. तो अब मुझे जो ये सब डेटा मुझे मिल रहा है, ये किस बारे में मिल रहा है? आपकी एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन के बारे में. लेकिन ये एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन में आपने कॉलेजेस या स्कूल्स चेंज किए हैं, तो मेरे पास काफी वैल्यूज हैं आपके लिए कि आपने 3 या 4 कॉलेजेस या स्कूल्स बदले हैं. ठीक है, तो वो वैल्यूज जो हैं दैट विल बी मल्टी वैल्यूड एट्रीब्यूट, कैन बी कंसिडर्ड एज मल्टी वैल्यूड. अब एक मूवी डेटाबेस को देख लेते हैं. मूवी डेटाबेस में द स्टार इज मूवी स्टार. Now the attribute, if you see, attribute is single value, SS, some number is there which is given. Now the cell phone, if we consider, will be the multi-valued. If we consider the name, then name, definitely it is a composite name because first name and second name put together becomes the name. Address, again composite. Gender, simple. Age, again derived because age we are calculating with the help of date of birth which been provided. So age again is called the derived attribute. Is this thing clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the procedure of ERD or entity relationship diagram, they are relatively simple and a representation of the complex real world data structures. And data modeling is an iterative process. So 100% error-free model is not possible. So no need to afraid. Now, if you make some mistake, it happens. So you have to optimize. Again, you have to redo and then you have to optimize and you have to give the best. Now, here is one of the example of the modality and the cardinality which I have given. Please इसको note कर लें आप. Now you can see in cardinality a single customer has the order and in the other one the multiple orders for a customer is there. So modality is what? The order must have the customer, right? If I am teaching a class, there has to be a student, okay? And so again the modality is what? A customer does not require an order, okay? And cardinality is all what? Multiple orders are for a customer. So there is a difference between the modality and the cardinalities. Yes? Is this thing clear? Any doubt here? Please draw this diagram about modality and cardinality. Clear hai? Let us go to the next diagram. Please, this is again a very complex diagram. I'll be sharing all the PPTs to you. This is about, you have the dealer, car dealer. Now the dealer is having and is contacted the manufacturer, how the manufacturer is giving the dealers the cars, how he is building the car, manufacturer is building the car. Now how the car reaching to the destination. Now you have a shipper who transport. So what actually is the connection and the modalities and the cardinalities, the constraints all reflected in the diagram. I will be talking more about this diagram in the next class, but right now, please note down and try to understand what is happening in this particular diagram. Now, whenever we create entity relationship diagram, please note down that we will be using, things. Now, things are what? They are car, contact list, which are mentioned in the requirement and asking for the relationships to other thing. Now, object relationship pair and therefore identified, and then we'll be exploring the cardinality and modality of the relationship. So I think this thing is clear to you. Another thing that we'll be doing, we'll be repeating each object identified and again reviewing object and establishing the attribute. Okay. And then we'll be reviewing the ERD. Is this thing clear to everybody? Now, another example of ERD is HomeSafe. It is the security system. It enables homeowner to config means you can configure your security system the way you want during installation. Now, HS monitors all the sensors which are connected to security system. HomeSafe interact with the homeowner via keypad or control panel, and control panel is used to program system. Each sensor is assigned a dash and type. Master password is programmed and telephone number are input for dialing on sensor event. On a sensor event, alarm invoked and the security system dials the phone number and gives information to monitoring service, and then that's how the control panel has a keyboard and input stuff. Now, I think you have understood that how the home security works. Now, if you have to design ERD, how will you do that? Please note down. All of you, please note down. This is one homework which I'm giving you. This is the work which I'm giving you. Please note down. Giving you a hint also, little bit, but you will be drawing yourself. Okay, but you will be drawing it yourself. I am not going to describe it. I'm just giving you, sharing the screens that how it is done, but I will not be revealing much. Okay, coming back to data flow diagram, I'm skipping these slides purposely because I want to come back to these slides again. So data flow diagrams, again, as you all have done, and what are they? They are the graphical techniques that depicts information flow and they transform that are applied as data moves from input to output. This is what we have learned. Now, inputs which you are getting, inputs can come from the sensors just now we have discussed, and human operators, web page input, hardware. Transformation here can be logical comparison, numerical algorithm, and graphical algorithm, and outputs in the form of LED, web page, reporting, effects, or hardware. Okay. Now, coming to another data flow diagram which we have done. Can you explain me, Sujit, what is happening here? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, जरा इस डायग्राम में बता सकते हो क्या हो रहा है?
मैम समझ में नहीं आ रहा है मैम।
आपका चलिए, जिसके मोबाइल पे दिख रहा है, सभी के मोबाइल पे ये विजिबल है?
यस मैम, मेरे मोबाइल पे तो विजिबल है मैम।
विजिबल है ना? तो ये एक डेटा फ्लो डायग्राम है। इसमें क्या हो रहा है ये समझ में आ रहा है आपको? हम यहाँ पे एक इंटीजर डिवीजन परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, सुजीत, दिखा हुआ है ना? अब इंटीजर डिवीजन के लिए हम अगर डीएफडी बनाएंगे, आप आपने जोड़ बाकी गुना भाग करना आता है ना सबको? आता है ना सबको? तो अब हम इंटीजर डिवीजन यहाँ पर करने जा रहे हैं। अब जब हम डिवीजन करने जा रहे हैं तो वी हैव डिविडेंड, वी हैव डिविजन, वी हैव क्वोशंट एंड वी गेट रिमाइंडर। जब भी हम डिवाइड करते हैं, कैसे डिवाइड करते हैं आप? हाँ, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि आपको डिवाइड करना है 10 को, हाँ, 2 से, तो क्या आंसर आएगा? सुजीत आंसर
5
बताइए।
आएगा मैम।
5 आएगा। आपने कैसे कैसे निकाला? क्यों आपने ये निकाला? अच्छा, जो 5 आएगा वो रिमाइंडर होगा, वो एक क्वेश्चन होगा, भागफल होगा या शेष होगा?
शेष होगा, भागफल होगा मैम, भागफल।
भागफल होगा ना, क्वेश्चन होगा। तो यहाँ पे हमने उसी को दिखाया गया है। इसको हम अब क्या आया, कितना आंसर आया, ये हम कंसर्न नहीं है। हमें ये पता है कि एक डिविडेंड होगा, एक डिविजर होगा, है ना भाई? एक नंबर ऐसा होगा जिसे हमें डिवाइड करना है, और दूसरा वो होगा जिससे डिवाइड किया जाना है। इन दोनों को हम किसमें प्रोवाइड करेंगे? इंटीजर डिवीजन में। ये हमारा सिस्टम है, ठीक है। और इस सिस्टम से आउटपुट क्या निकलेगा? एक क्वेश्चन आउटपुट निकलेगा और एक रिमाइंडर निकलेगा। तो रिमाइंडर कितना निकलेगा? 0, है ना? और क्वेश्चन कितना निकलेगा? 5। तो अब ये पूरा हमारा डीएफडी बन गया। हम किसी भी एक्टिविटी को, जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन हम दे रहे हैं, उसको हम इस तरह से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो ये हमने लेवल 0 डीएफडी बनाया। समझ में आ रहा है सबको? मैं कई बार इसको आपको बोल चुकी हूँ, आप लोग इसको सीरियसली लीजिए। मैं बहुत बार इसको रिपीट कर चुकी हूँ, पर आप वापस वही 0 पे आ जाते हैं, पता नहीं क्यों। इसको प्लीज थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिए। सुजीत आप भी ओके। अब आप देखें कि इनके जो सिंबल्स हैं वो हम क्या यूज कर रहे हैं। प्रोसेस के लिए हम ये ओवल शेप का बॉक्स यूज कर रहे हैं। एक्सटर्नल एंटिटीज जो भी हैं उनके लिए हम ये एक स्क्वायर बॉक्स यूज कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। और हम फ्लो लाइंस या डेटा स्टोर्स के लिए, फ्लो लाइंस के लिए एरो, और डेटा स्टोर्स के लिए हम इस तरह की पैरेलल लाइंस को यूज कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। ये सिंबल्स हैं जो हम इसमें यूज करते हैं, अभी जो प्रीवियस में हमने यूज किया था। अब डेटा फ्लो या कनेक्टर्स कैसे यूज हो रहे हैं देखिए। एड्रेस है तो इसमें सिटी, स्टेट, जिप कोड सभी कुछ आ रहा है, तो हम इसको एरो से दिखा सकते हैं, ठीक है। अब लेवल 0 में देखिए क्या हो रहा है। हम एक्सटर्नल एंटिटीज को प्रोवाइड करते हैं, इनपुट कराते हैं डेटा सिस्टम में, और हमें मिलता है एक्सटर्नल एंटिटी आउटपुट, हमें मिलता है, ठीक है। तो ये हमारा 0 लेवल डीएफडी है। क्लियर है? सबको क्लियर है? चलिए, ये भी हमारा 0 लेवल है, ये भी हमारा 0 लेवल। अब देखिए 0 लेवल पे एक हमारा ये डेटा फ्लो है। ये टेलीफोन कम्युनिकेशन जो हमारा हो रहा है सिक्योरिटी सिस्टम में, उसके लिए है। ये हमारा इंटरैक्टिव सिस्टम के लिए है। ये हमारा डिवाइड ऑपरेशन के लिए है कि डिवाइड ऑपरेशन कैसे हो रहा है। लेवल्स हमारे बढ़ते जाएंगे डीएफडी में, लेवल्स हमारे आगे होते जाएंगे। 0 से 1 लेवल डीएफडी होते जाएगा। सो लेवल 1 में देखिए इस तरह से हम मेजर प्रोसेसेस को डिपिक्ट कर सकते हैं। क्लियर है सबको? ये आप स्क्रीनशॉट्स ले सकते हैं इनके। अच्छा, अब आ जाते हैं कि जो गाइडलाइंस हमें फॉलो करनी है, वो एक बार फिर से रिपीट करते हैं। व्हाट आर द गाइडलाइंस दैट विल बी फॉलोइंग? सो सबसे पहली बात ये है दैट whenever we will be designing, then first level as a single process, we will be with all the external inputs and output sources, we will be showcasing, that will be our level 0. Primary input and output should be carefully noted, and refinement should begin by isolating the candidate processes. All the data flows and symbols should be labeled with meaningful names. Information flow continuity must be maintained within the refinement, and one bubble at a time is expended, which means one process at a time should be expended. You know that, and you have to record all the components in the data dictionary. Sorry. Now see, this one is the end data flow detail process. Now you can see how the process has been transformed. Another diagram, see, data flow diagram. This I have taken from Pressman. Okay. This is what level 1 process and data stores look like. This is again process 1, which would look like. Coming to behavioral modeling, which we have discussed so many times, that how the system will behave. So we have to do the behavioral modeling also, and behavior is the observable effects. So what is your observation on the basis of that, how the events are happening, including the result? So we can do the modeling, and we can do the control flow diagramming, then we can do the data flow diagramming, we can add events to the data model, plus we can go for state transition diagrams also, which will be which are more traditional behavior in behavioral modeling. Okay, and these models are very much useful in the variety of applications. Okay, is this thing clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have repeated state diagram and state machines. We have discussed in detail, I think. So, if I talk about state machine, the state diagram illustrates how the system moves from one state to the other, and state diagram also show the state machine. So I will not be taking state machine, just revising and just reviewing the topics that we have done. If you have any doubts in any of the part, you can come up with the questions later on. Okay. So if again the question which can come up in your mind is that what is the scientific base for state machine? Now, the scientific machine for state machine is that whenever you there is a transition in the system, you actually provide raw data, raw input to the system, and system gives you the particular output, right? In particular time after changing or processing or whatever. So the conservation of momentum law is here, which means that when the resultant external force acting on the system is zero, the total momentum of the system remains constant. So please remember this thing, that this is the basis of the state machine. Now, what is a state? Here again, the state is what? State is any observable model for behavior, condition, situation during the life of an object, during it satisfied some condition which performs some activity or waits for some event. Okay. Now here you can say the name is here, right? And transition, how will you, give the transition? You have the events and conditions. You will be representing two relationships between two states, indicating an object is in the first state, will perform certain action and enter the second state when specified events occur and these specified conditions are been satisfied. So finally, the transformation or the state transition happens. Okay, this is what we show in the state machine. Is this thing clear? Now, when we talk about the action on transition, so the event or condition, as you can see, the actions are also written there. So the actions are performed on the event transition, and the actions are defined also whenever we write, and they will be described also in the data dictionary. Please note down this thing. Data dictionary, as I told you, is a separate topic which I'll be taking later. Okay. Now, this is what the example of action on transition. You can note down. You can take a screenshot also. You can see there are 3 states, 0, 1, and 2, right? In the first one, it's normally idle, then processing, and then you can see the blue screen. So similarly, you have the timing events also. Event is T1, B1, and B2. Time 1, button 1, and button 2. So you have that, you actually have defined that how the transition of your system happens. Okay. So please note down and you can ask questions later. Now, these are the various diagrams which you can draw, type of state transition diagram. So if you have to describe state transition, please go for this kind of a diagram. And now I want to stop here in the state transition diagram, and I actually want that you all should do the state machine, DFT, and plus ER very well, do them very well, and we will continue this lecture afterwards because still so many slides are left, but I don't have the time. So I'll be continuing this lecture in the next class also. I'm stopping my screen. If you have any questions, any query, then you can ask me. Any question, any query, you can ask me. And please give me the reason also that why the attendance is so low. Yes, please, just a minute. First of all, questions. Later on, complaints. Questions first. Any question?
डायग्राम नहीं जीरो लेवल वाला समझ में आया मैम, फर्स्ट लेवल नहीं आया।
फर्स्ट लेवल समझ में आया, जीरो लेवल समझ में नहीं आया।
जीरो लेवल आ गया, उसके बाद
जीरो लेवल आ गया, जीरो लेवल आ गया, फर्स्ट लेवल समझ में नहीं आया। हाउ मेनी डायग्राम्स आर यू ड्रॉन? कितने सारे डायग्राम्स आपने बनाए बेटे? प्लीज I'll be giving you the solution also. ठीक है, मैं अभी आपको ये पीपीटी भेज देती हूँ, पहले आप इसको समझिए, then you please tell me. Until we meet in the next class, I'll be taking your queries in the next class. ठीक है। Now अब मुझे बताओ कि आपके क्लास में जो बच्चे हैं आज